Hi, in this video, we will talk about this keyword in Java. So what is this keyword in Java? This keyword automatically holds the reference to current instance of the class. So this means it will hold the current class object. Okay. So how many ways you can use this object keyword? So this can be used to refer current class instance variable. So it will hold the current class instance variable. This can be used to invoke current class method. Okay. So this can be used to invoke current class constructor, and this can be passed as an argument in the method call. So apart from this, you can pass this keyword to a method argument, and this can be passed as an argument in the constructor call. So constructor is also a type of method. So we can pass this keyword to a normal method and to the constructor. This can be used to return the current class instance from the method. So if your method is returning something, so if you want to return current class object, that time also you can use this keyword. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 usages are there. So by taking one example, we'll see each and every point. So for each point, I'll take one class and we'll try to explain. For this, we'll go to Visual Studio Code. So here, I created one class called this demo 1. So we are going to see this used to refer current class instance variable. Okay. So if you talk about instance variable, so it will be in the class level, right? So I can say int num is equals to 50. Okay. And what I'll do, I'll create a method, public void this method. Just an example. So here, what I'll try to do, system.out.println. So I'll try to print num. Okay. So I'll write a public static void main method means main method. So here I'll create a class, object this class, this demo is equals to new this demo 1. And if I try to call this method, so what happens? Right. So I created one instance variable. This is my instance variable. And I created one method called this method. Inside this, I'm printing the num. And I'm creating an object and calling this method to execute. So we'll see what happens exactly when you execute this. So Java, this demo1.java. You see that it is printing 50. But what happens, because of some reason, you created one more variable, integer variable, num is equals to 100. This is local variable. Local variable with same name. Okay. Here also I named it as number. Okay. If you try to execute this, previously it has printed 50. But if you try to execute now, what happens? We'll execute and see. You see that 100 it is printing. Previously it is printing 50. Now it is printing 100. Why? So first preference will go to this local variable. Okay. So because of that, it is taking now this number 100. But now I want to access this 50. Okay. Previously, when you do not have this local variable with the same name, I'm able to access this number 50. But now there is another variable with the same name that is a local variable. Now it is taking the higher priority and I'm able to print this one. But if I want to use this number, then how I can do that? So that's where use it to refer current class instance variable. This can be used to refer current class instance variable. In that scenario, system.out.println, you can say this dot num. That's it. So it will print 100 and it will print 50. Okay. If you want to use this number instance variable, so then you can say this dot num. Then it will refer to the current class instance variable. So we'll try to execute and see. You see that 100 and 50 both I'm able to print. Here this dot num 50 and this one is 100. Okay, this is how you can use this keyword to call the means refer the current class instance variable. Okay. So if you do not have this one even, okay, by default this is this dot num. But if you do not have anything, then this is not mandatory. But if you try to execute, even then also it will 50 only. So whether you put this or not, if you do not have local variable with the same name, it will not make any difference. But if you have local variable with the same name, then explicitly you need to mention this one, this keyword. Okay. So this is first one. So let me go to the second one. So what is that? I created another class called this demo2. This is used to refer current class method. Okay. Current class method. We have seen instance variable, no method. I'll create one method. I'll write again this method. So inside this system.out.println, I will write this. I'll try to print the same thing. Okay, just an example. Okay, use it to refer current class method. So now I'll create another method, public void display method. Okay, display method. Here I will call that this method. Okay, this method. So I'll create a public static void main method, string args. So this demo to td is equals to new this demo to and td dot what display method I'm calling. Okay, so I'm calling display method. When it goes to display method, inside this you have this method, then it will go to this method and it will execute and it will print this information. Okay, till here this is no issue. We'll do normal way. So let me go to here and try to execute this. Sorry, I missed this semicolon. I'll try to execute the same thing now. You see that this is used to refer current class method. But what is the use of this? So this way also you can write this dot this method. So we have seen the same thing here. This dot num. The same way this dot this method, and you get the same output. Okay, this used to refer current class method. So both are same. If you write this method and this dot this method, both are same. You can use either of these two. Okay, but intention is you can call current class method using this keyword. Okay, if you execute now, I think it will print 2 times. Right, so no change. So you can use either of the ways. Okay, this is all about use it to refer current class method. So now we'll take the third point. What is that? This method 3, use it to refer current class constructor. So I have created one class called this demo3. So what I'll do here, this demo3 constructor means the same name, right? Class name should be, means the method name should be class name. So system dot out dot println. I'll write something like this is no argument constructor. Okay, I have created one no argument constructor. I'll create one more constructor. Here I'll pass something like string name or yes, something like that. So here also system.out.println, and what I'll do, saying hello to this name using parameterized constructor. Just an example. So I've created two constructors. One is no argument constructor. The second one is parameterized constructor. Now what happens? I'll write main method public static void main string args. So here, if I try to call this method 3, td is equals to new this method 3. Okay. So if you try to execute, which constructor will call? So here I do not have any arguments. Obviously, it will refer to this one. Okay. So now we'll try to execute this. Let me clear this. Java, this demo3.java. You see that this is no argument constructor, obviously calling this one. Okay. But if I try to put some name, okay, so what happened? This is become this matched with this constructor. Okay. If you try to execute, now it will print different message saying hello to Krishna using parameterized constructor. Right. So then now I want to refer current class constructor. So at that time I'll just remove this and I want to call this constructor also. Okay. So I can create one more. I'm not sure, we need to check. So I created another object. You see that it is printing, but I don't want to do like this. I want to call this constructor from here. Okay. So how you can do? I'll do using this. Okay. This, and no need to mention this demo3 exact method name, constructor name. So I'm just using this. This will refer current class constructor. Okay. So now if you try to print, I'll get an error. You'll see what is that. You see that call to this must be first statement in constructor. Okay. So you need to remember this. I'll make it. So I'll comment this. So this statement should be first statement. So it should be in the top. So this way you can write. We try to execute. Now it will print both the statements and saying hello to Krishna using parameters constructor, first one. Okay. So if I want to call this one here, the same simple thing. So I'll comment there. And I'll put simple this, no arguments. So then I need to call this one, right? So that time what I'll do, I'll comment this, I'll use this. So I need to, then it will call this one. Inside that you have this. So it will refer to this constructor. So if you try to execute, you'll get the same output, but in different order. The reason is now I'm calling this. So it will print, this is no argument constructor first. Okay. This way you can call current class constructor using this keyword. Okay. So now we'll see the fourth point. This demo 4, this can be passed as an argument in the method call. So to the method, you can pass this as an argument. So for this, what I'll do, public void, I'll say method1. Okay, method1. So this method, what it will take as an argument, we can put int a, right, string a, something like that. So the same way you can put reference types. What is that? This demo for TD class object. Okay, how you pass int a, string s. The same way you can do this one also. Right, I am passing class as an argument. Now if I try to print this system.out.println, I can print this object. Okay, and what I'll do, I'll create one more method, public void method2. Okay, and I'll create public static void main. Right here, so let me correct it. Here I'll call this method. Okay, I'll call this method. So then how you can call that method? Right, method1. Right, method1, but it needs what? This demo object. So I need to create a this demo object, means this demo4 object, obj is equals to new this demo4, and I can pass this object to this. Right, it is expecting, this method is expecting this demo4 object. So I'm calling the, I created an object and I'm calling. So here what I'll do, I'll create an object to this again. TD is equals to TD dot method2. I'll call method2. The moment when it try to execute method2, inside that we have called method1, and method1 needs this demo4 object. So I create an object and I'm passing that. So nothing critical here. So everything is simple. If you try to execute this, you see that this is an object, this demo object, but we are talking about this can be passed as an argument in the method call. Right, so how you can do that? Instead of creating an object and passing that to this, we can simply method1 of this. What we said, this will hold current class object, right? So this is this class object. So the same way this will refer to this class object. So I'm passing the this. Instead of these two lines, I can manage with method1 of this, means it will hold the current class object by default. Okay, so simplifying this thing. So if you try to execute now, you see that you are getting the TD object, means this demo for class object. If you try to run again, no problem, it will give you the same information. You see that same output. So this is how, instead of passing this, means this class object, you can pass this keyword. Okay, this is one of the ways to use this keyword. Normally we will do like this if it is not current class, another class, but this is current class. So instead of writing like this, I can directly pass this keyword. Okay, so we'll take another one. What is that? This demo file, and here this can be passed as an argument in the constructor call. We have seen in the method call, now we'll see constructor call. So what I'll do, public void, I'll create a method, and I'll create main method, public static void main. Apart from this, I'll create another class inside this. You can create like this, class test. Okay, so I created a constructor here. Okay, this constructor will take what? This class object, means this demo file object. something like this. Okay, so take TD5 or something like this, and I'll try to print system.println TD5, and apart from that, I will write another dummy statement. What is that? I'll pass the same information. Okay, so I just put a message here, and actual is system.out.println. I'm passing TD5, but if I want to call this class object, so I need to pass this demo5 class object. Okay, so how you can do that? So normally how you do that? Test obj is equals to new test of, what you need to do? I need here this class object, right? So I need to create the this class object. TD is equals to, so now I need to pass this TD here. Okay, so when you create an object to this class, so this constructor means a test constructor is expecting this class object. So I need to create that object. I am passing it. Okay, so here what I'll do, I will call that method. So here TD5 is equals to new TD5 dot this method. This is the method. Okay, so what is happening? I created one class. Inside the class I have a constructor. That constructor needs another class object as an argument. Okay, so when I use this, when I try to create an object to this class, that is test class, so this constructor is expecting this class object. You see that? This demo5 object. So I need to pass this demo5 object to here. So how you can do that? So for that, what I did, I create an object to that class and I'm passing that to this class constructor, right? After that, I'm just calling this method using this object. This is normal way, right? So if you go back and try to execute this, right? This is printing this object and this information, but why to use like this? Okay, why to use like this? Sorry. So I don't need to create an object. Okay, I don't need to create an object and I need to pass. So we already saw this can hold current class object. So because of that, I'll skip these two lines. I'll use this. This refers to current class object already. So why to create object and pass to this constructor? So I can directly pass this to a constructor. That is what we are talking about. This can be passed as an argument to the constructor call. To this constructor, I'm passing this. Okay. So again, you should get the same output. You see that? The object and again the same method. If you try to execute, you'll get the same output. Right. So this is how you can pass this keyword to a constructor. Okay. This is the fifth point. And what about the last sixth point? So in the sixth one, this can be used to return the current class instance from the method. Need to return. Okay. So public this demo 6 and method. We already discussed about return type, right? So if you want to return integer, public int some method. So inside this, you need to return int, whatever it is, 0, 1 or whatever it is, something like this. Here also, this is integer means you need to return integer. But here I'm expecting return type is class. If this is the class, we need to return class object. Return class object, right? So if you want to do that, how you do that? So before that, public static void main in args. So I need to create an object to this. Edit that. Just I'll call that method. Okay. The moment it will call here. Okay. So if you do not write any return statement, okay, I'm calling this method. Okay, I'm calling this method by creating an object to this class. So see what happens. You see that error, missing return statement. So I need to write return statement. So for this return, what it is expecting this class object. So what I'll do, I'll create an object t is equals to return t. Right. It will not print anything, but you will not get any error. It has to compare and you see that nothing happened. Means the program is good. But instead of writing these 2 lines, I can return what? This. The reason is this will hold what? Current class object. What we are expecting current class object here. Right. So because of that, instead of writing like this, you can directly use this keyword. Return this means this class object, whatever you have expecting here, return that object. Okay. If it is another class, you need to do like this. If it is same current class, then you need to use this. So this always refer to current class reference, current class. Okay. So now I change it to return this. If I try to execute now, this time also it should not throw any error. You see that nothing happened, no errors. It's perfectly executed. So this is how you can use this keyword to return current class instance from the method. Okay. So this is all about this keyword in Java. So we have seen 6 different ways to use this, 6 different scenarios, all these things. All right. So what could be the possible interview questions from this? What is this keyword in Java and how many ways we can use this keyword in Java? So everything we discussed, you can explain the same thing. Okay. So that's all in this video. Thank you.